This problem has been worsening, and we have now reached the point where gun violence is the leading cause of death among kids and teens. The leading cause of death. That is something that we should never take as the new normal.
The U.S. Surgeon General there declaring gun violence a public health emergency. And you heard him say it, children too often the victims. More than 4,600 Americans age 1 through 19 were killed by firearms in 2022, the most recent data, outpacing car crashes, poisoning, and cancer. Dr. Steve Turkovich is here once again tonight. He's president of Oishei Children's Hospital here in Buffalo. Dr. Turkovich, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to see you. This news obviously comes on a day in which over the past half hour we're processing these indictments in the death of a little 3-year-old boy in Buffalo. It puts gun violence back in the headlines, but for so many communities, it's constantly in the headlines. And I wonder what your reaction is as a physician, as a pediatrician, and as a hospital administrator to what the Surgeon General is doing.
Well, I think it's about time. The impact of gun violence and firearms on children is just enormous. 60% increase over the last 10 years in the number of children killed by firearms. If you look at death by suicide in 10 to 14-year-olds, that's gone up by over 50%. Many times we think about those that have been killed, but also there's thousands who have been injured. I've personally taken care of children who have been injured from that in their life-altering injuries. The other thing that we think about is the physical injuries, but the mental injuries and the trauma can last for a very long time, not only for the person who is injured, but for the children, their siblings, their families, the community. So impact of gun violence is so wide-ranging from the individual who is the victim all throughout their family and the entire community.
And before we run out of time, this weekend's shooting, you think of the impact on the community there and the other children in that neighborhood to learn that their friend, 3 years old, and his 7-year-old sister who was injured, but that he's now gone. You talk about that trauma that will last a lifetime.
Yeah, unfortunately, everybody who's witness to that, even the people that see it on the news, you think about it all the time, and that has a direct impact on your mental health. We know after school shootings, the number of teenagers who need antidepressants goes up significantly. So this is something that is unfortunately moving in the wrong direction, increasing, and it's going to impact almost all of us at some point.
You think this can make a difference, this declaration?
I think it made a difference with smoking. When the Surgeon General in the 1960s came out and said this is a problem, it's going to take some time, but hopefully as we talk about this, we do more research and we look at this objectively through data, we can come up with some very smart, scientifically based solutions.
Data that's so troubling already. Dr. Steve Turkovich, president of Oishei Children's Hospital, thank you.
Thank you.